Hi everybody, my name is Brianna Bilo and I'm a meteorologist here with the National Weather Service office in Grand Junction, Colorado, and this is your September 2023 monthly climate summary. So our story of the month for September is the return of the snow. As we know, summer in the mountains, it comes late, as we saw a couple of months ago with the June snow story of the month, and it leaves real early. So this photo here actually is from September 13th. This showcases the Cimarron Range just outside of Ridgway in central western Colorado. As you can see, that's quite a little coating of snow up there at the higher elevations. And we saw, as temperatures started to cool as we moved into fall, we saw those snow levels start to come down. And so even though we were still seeing, daily afternoon showers and thunderstorms, over the mountains, they were actually putting down some light snow. And I realized that with this coming out right after we had our first big snowstorm of the month, of the season, it's not as maybe impressive as it would have been a couple weeks ago, but winter is here. So moving into our September high temperatures. Our warmest highs for the month were 93 degrees, and that occurred in Grand Junction on just the 8th, and then in Canyonlands over near Moab in Utah on the 8th and the 9th. Our coolest temperature, high temperature of the month, was 83 degrees, and this occurred in Aspen on September 1st. And as you can see, with the exception of Aspen down here at 83, most of these high temperatures kind of clustered right around 90 degrees. That's not bad. At least it's not 100 like it was last year. Moving into low temperatures, we're finally starting to see those cold mornings creep in across the area, with our warmest low temperature being 46 degrees in Canyonlands on the 24th, 25th, and 27th. And then the coldest low coming in here at 24 degrees in Craig on the morning of the 24th. And as you can see, a lot of these are kind of clustered around the 24th and the 25th. That was associated with kind of our first fall storm of the season, if you will, bringing in some of that much needed cooler air. And making things start to feel kind of nice and fall-like. Looking at precip though, not the best month, definitely. All of our 10 sites came in with the below normal precipitation for the month of September. Our big winner here was Cortez, which had just under 1.3 inches of precipitation, but this was 0.3 of an inch below normal. Our loser was Grand Junction with just 0.07 of precipitation for the month, and this was 1.12 inches, so over an inch below normal. And looking at a lot of these departures, you can see that several of the sites were over an inch below normal for the month. Our biggest departures here being Rifle and Durango, both at a little over 1.2 inches below normal. And Cortez was actually the closest. Oh, and Craig here at almost 1.3 inches below normal. And Cortez was actually the closest to normal with that 0.3 of an inch below normal departure. Not a great month, but it happens. Hopefully we will see some above normal precipitation moving into the fall and the winter to kind of make up for these warm season deficits that we saw here in September and also in the month of July, where everybody was also pretty much below normal. I guess we'll just have to stay tuned. Moving on to our drought update, unfortunately, because we did see that significantly below normal precipitation for the month of September, and we did see on average above normal temperatures, which you can take a look at in the written version of this that is linked below the video. Only one of the 10 climate sites had below normal mean temperatures for the month of September. The rest of them were between 1/10 above normal and almost 3 degrees above normal. So with those above normal temperatures and below normal precipitation, we did see an expansion of the drought category across eastern Utah and western Colorado. Luckily, we still do not have any D3 extreme drought, and hopefully if we start to see some more precipitation as we move later into the fall and into the winter, we can kind of keep that at bay and we won't get into that D3 category. But we have seen something of an expansion for that D2 severe drought category, where this pocket that was in like central western Colorado is starting to expand into Mesa County, and this pocket along the southern border is expanding a little bit. We've seen the area of D1 moderate drought expand significantly northward, as well as this D0 abnormally dry, which is now covering a majority of the CWA. Moving over to the monthly drought outlook, at least as per the Climate Prediction Center, we're not going to see much of a change in this. The drought where it is, so where you see these D1s and D2s, that's going to persist. I've covered this before. For the purposes of these tendency charts, D0 does not count as a drought category, which is why you don't see anything for the remainder of eastern Utah and western Colorado. But you can kind of take that as a no change sort of status as far as where that D0 is. But what's also maybe a little bit beneficial is that the D0 is probably the easiest to alleviate with some good consistent precipitation. So fingers crossed for the cold season. And looking at our snowpack update, because we have a snowpack update. I feel like I only just got rid of this 2 months ago, but here we are. I said September, didn't I? I have to go back and look at that video because I think I said September. But yep, we have a snowpack update. Eastern Utah, still nothing. There's really nothing as of September 30th in the northeastern Uintas or the Duchesne Basin. And the fact that this is popping up as 0% just kind of indicates that usually they have something reportable by this point, while the southeastern Utah Basin typically doesn't, and therefore it can have no percentage. But basically what this map is saying in a very roundabout way is that there is no snow yet as of September 30th. Mind you, there's probably snow now. Moving into Colorado, thanks to those mountain showers that I mentioned as part of our story of the month, we're actually not doing too bad. This is early season, so these really above normal temperatures, these above normal percentages, take them kind of as a grain of salt, because if your average for the month of September is 1 inch and you end up with 2, you are 200% of normal. So kind of take these really high amounts with a grain of salt, but basically what this means is we are, kind of at or above what you expect to see for the month of September. So winter is kicking in as it should, at least across the central and southern basins in western Colorado. The Yampa White and Little Snake not doing quite as well, a little bit below normal for the month of September, which, I mean, give or take. Because again, like when you're talking about very low values, if their average is 1 inch and they got ½ an inch, then it's 50% of normal. And that's really not a huge difference as far as like what the whole winter means. So basically, yeah, we've got snow out there, and not doing too bad considering. Our October outlook as far as the Climate Prediction Center is concerned, we are still looking at a leaning towards above normal temperatures for all of eastern Utah and western Colorado, but we are also looking at a slight leaning towards above normal precipitation. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. A lot of this is kind of based on the fact that we are starting to go into the cold season, and we have a relatively strong El Nino in the tropical Pacific right now, which does tend to favor above normal precipitation across the western half of the country. Admittedly, the signal for eastern Utah and western Colorado is not very strong at all, but overall we do tend to see more western precipitation. So fingers crossed, as I've said multiple times, hopefully we will see a wet, cool season this year, and we can kind of keep this train going with near normal precipitation totals that we kind of kicked off last year with the absolutely bonkers winter and spring. And that's all for me for this month. Stay tuned. in a couple weeks for the October update, where I can give you all the deets on what actually happened in October if we did see that above normal precipitation and those above normal temperatures. I hope you enjoyed, and you know, have fun, stay safe.